right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for Friday, the 26th of February, 2021. We've got the moon early in the morning in the sign of Leo, gathering that last bit of fire energy before it moves into the sign of Virgo. And before it moves out of the sign of Leo, it's creating a square over there to Mars, all right? So Mars is trucking forward, moving ahead with a trine up here to Pluto. Check that out. Trine to Pluto, right? We've been talking about this, which is trying to break free, okay? We're trying to transform and change the structure and orders that currently exist, okay? So Pluto is doing a very similar job that these guys are doing over here in Aquarius, all right? So Pluto is about change and transformation. We're talking about government, order, rules, regulations, structures, right? So that easy flow of energy down here to Mars. Okay, Mars is saying moving forward in this direction, creating a new standard, a new tradition. As well, we have Saturn squaring off to Uranus. Okay, that's still going on. That's still an energy that most people are feeling very heavily right now, which can be a little bit of stir-crazy energy. It can be a little bit of anxiety, okay? That stress, that pressure, because things are changing, right? But seeing that these are all working together, they all have one common goal: to create change, to create a new order, a new structure, because the traditions that we have are things that are no longer working for us. They worked for a time. You know, this is like a child and it's like a comfort blanket. You know, it's just like that worked for a time for the kid, but it's no longer working with us now. And beautifully enough, Saturn, which rules that structure and order, the government, as you will, in the sign of Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, right? It's saying, yes, I'm in agreement. And old astrology as well, Saturn ruled both Capricorn and Aquarius, right? So it still has some rulership there, okay? But the Uranian energy is more of that breakthrough, innovative, technological driven, planet. So it's best associated with that. So Saturn, which deals with structure and order, okay, is creating a septile over there to the south node in the sign of Sagittarius, okay? So, so it's like Pluto and Mars, again, these are opposites of each other. This is dealing with action. This is active transformation. Action and transformation, action moving forward. We're creating this change. These two are squaring off because it's difficult. Anyone that creates a new tradition anytime and says this, this old tradition isn't the way and we're going to create a new way, the people who created I'm going to come back here for this. The individuals that created the tradition that is now was once not a tradition. So they were the rebels, right? They were the ones that were rebellious and thinking outside the box and said, okay, this is going to be our new standard, right? And then we have this new energy that comes in and challenges that energy, right? And just the same to what we're creating now here in 2021 through the rest of our lifetime, 100 years down the road, 1,000 years down the road, 2,200 years down the road, when the age switches into the sign of Capricorn, they're going to be changing what we've changed, so it's just like there's always this constant evolution. Anyway, so Saturn is in agreement that there's got to be change to make. Uranus is, I'm going to create change no matter what, in the traditional sign of Taurus. But the beauty about this is now Saturn creating this septile here to the south node, right? The nodes are what determines eclipse season. The north node is the head of the dragon, if you will, and the south node is the tail of the dragon. This is our past. This is where we're headed, right? We're headed into a place of self-discovery. We're headed into a place of rethinking and relearning. So that means this old philosophies, or philosophies in general, ideologies, ways of teaching, ways of understanding, ways of higher communication, they're all being subject to change, right? So this tension that's going on here with Uranus saying, I'm the force that can't be contained. This is like you leaving. This is leaving like the washing machine, like a Tide or whatever, like your washer fluid, okay, your washer soap detergent on top of the washing machine that's slightly unbalanced, and it starts shaking, and it just shakes it right off. Right? We all know, we've been there if you've had an unstable washing machine, so it's unstable energy, and you're trying to put something that's stable on top of it, and it just doesn't work, right? So we're shaking off this energy, and Saturn is saying like, yes, let's commit to this. Let's commit to letting go of this information. Let's commit to letting go, right? And we still have, coming back again, undoubtedly Neptune, which is our dreams and our imagination and our creativity, the illusions, okay, the disillusionment, the media, what we're being fed all the time. So this rules a lot of the non-physical, everything in the non-physical, right? And it deals with coming back to that sense of dreams. We all have a dream or an imagination when we're children. And then as the world, the society, Capricorn energy, as society begins to imprint upon us, we lose sight of ourselves, we lose sight of that dream, we lose sight of that oneness, we lose sight of the potential, the capabilities, the possibilities of who we are, where we're going, what love looks like. Right, is a big one. What love looks like, what forgiveness looks like, what unconditional energy looks like. And we lose sight of ourselves during this time because we want to fit in. This is the group right here, is the Aquarian energy. We want to fit into society. We want to fit into this soul tribe, or we want to fit into, well, I'm a biker, and this is what I'm not a biker. I'm just saying, I'm a biker, and this is what bikers look like, and this is what we wear as bikers. Or I'm a dancer, and this is what dancers wear. So I have to. Or I'm a ball player, basketball player, and I have to have Air Jordans or whatever. I'm a tennis ball player. Tennis player, a sports ball, yeah. So this is what I have to wear to fit into this. We lose sight of self. And we have this beautiful energy this month as, Venus freshly in the sign of Pisces, the sun in the sign of Pisces here, to like rediscover and tap into our dreams. So as Neptune here is still square to the nodes, and it's saying it's okay to let go of this past. It's okay to let go of some of this stuff. And it's okay to rediscover ourselves in who we are, what we want to be, and where we want to go, right? We can create our own trend, okay? So the moon here, it plays an important role as it's reminding us to be courageous through all of this transformation, courageous through all this change, courageous to be the individual that we are, right? It's like we just should be excited about being ourselves. And sometimes we can look at celebrities or people who inspire us, and we want to walk in their shoes in a certain sense, but it's like, this is like, we have our own song to sing on this planet, we're not a cover band of anybody else. We get to decide who we are. We get to decide who we want to be. We get to decide what love looks like. We get to decide what forgiveness looks like. And we're going to come back to that now. Because now the moon is getting ready for the full moon as it moves into the sign of Virgo. Okay? This is left mind, analytical mind. This is right brain. Okay? Oneness. And you can look up some other stuff here on YouTube or whatever. Your brain is a fascinating thing, okay? Your left mind can say, cut somebody off. I'm done with this. And the right brain can say, forgive and be unconditional. And you were once there in this place. So we know what it's like to stumble, to fall, to screw up. And that Virgo energy, hypersensitive, hypercritical, laser focused. You know what I mean? It's not seeing necessarily a broad picture, which is good because it needs to be so focused. It's about the details. It's looking at the cracks. This is, one of those like machines at the bar where you have to like look at the picture on the left and the picture on the right and see like find the 11 things that don't match up here. Like that Virgo energy is like boop, 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 nailed it. So it's just like it tends to see the wrong. It tends to see what's out of place. It tends to see what's not working and what's not right. And that can work for us just the same as it can work against us. Okay? When we're too hypercritical, when we're too focused, when we set the bar higher than we can even meet our own standards, this is when that Piscean energy, that right brain kind of helps us out, is that water, right? We're talking about Earth. We still have Pluto in Earth. We have Mars in Earth. We have Uranus in Earth, which is trying to change that Earth energy. And now the moon, our emotional needs, our emotional response, our, how we respond to the world in that critical aspect. And this can be like sharp rocks, jaded rocks, And when water flows, which is what Pisces is, when water flows, it doesn't meet the mountain and say, oh, I got to turn around. There's no stopping that flow. Okay? And it's saying, I'm going to work my way around. And water can cut, the sharpest of rocks, the heaviest of stones. Water will find a way. That emotion, that oneness will find a way and make its way through. Okay, so again, there's really two sides to this. If it's critical cutoff point, this can also be about loving self and saying, I need to make this critical decision and cut someone out of my life, whatever, whatever's going on for us as individuals. This could be a diet thing. This could be dealing with addictions. This could be, I'm sitting in front of the tube too much. I'm watching too much CNN. I'm watching too much news. I'm so focused on social media. I'm too focused on what's going on in the outside world. I'm too much focused on coronavirus. I'm too much focused on what other people are doing or how they're living their lives, right? So that comes back to the moon reminding us when it's in the sign of Leo in the morning, and where it's been, right now as I'm making this video and yesterday, to appreciate ourselves, and it's just like, yes, we're all part of an ensemble, but it takes each individual to show up to create that ensemble. So it takes you and your practice and your hard work. Right? This is like, we don't practice at the performance. Okay? And that's part of what that Virgo energy is as well, is like, this is about making sure that we're well rehearsed so that when we take stage, we're playing to perfection, Virgo, the perfect kind of energy, right? And it's important as well as it's opposing Venus. It's starting to oppose the sun. It's going to be a full moon early in the morning on Saturday, but I want to talk about that in a separate video. That we recognize the conditioned versus unconditional, conditional love versus unconditional love. Are we holding something? Are we holding something up and saying, like, if you don't do this, or if I don't do this, then I can't get the rewards to this next step. And it's like the trees are going to grow and the trees are going to bear fruit. And it doesn't matter if you appreciate the fruit or not. It's going to grow and it's going to die. And it's going to, shrink up during the winter months and not bear and produce that fruit anymore. But it's unconditional nonetheless. So we have this kind of decision to make. Are we being hypercritical and cutting something and something, a practice out of our life, a drug, a condition, the addiction of the media. And that's one of these things too, with Neptune being home in Pisces, is like this media frenzy. Again, it's like the House of Mirrors, where we don't really know what's the truth and what's the lie. And that brings us back to that North Node of self-discovery and finding out what truth works best for us. And then there's that, you're going to hate me, but it's just like, just because you feel it doesn't mean it's real. It's very paradoxical. But either way, at the end of this, all in all, are we cutting something out because we love ourselves? We have to love and value ourselves. And if that means giving something another chance, then giving another chance. If this is saying, no, I'm done with the diet, I'm done with this way of living, I'm done with this lifestyle, I'm done watching other people, I'm done being a consumer, and now I'm time to be a producer in this life. right? That's what the Virgo energy is all about. It's about creating. It's about giving back. It's about taking our fire energy of knowing our creative self-expression, or how to express ourselves creatively, knowing our individuality from the fire sign of Leo, and saying, now that I know who I am, now that I know what I can do, now I know my worth and what I can bring and be of a service to society, to be of service to other people, it's time to do that. It's time to be a producer. You know, stop being a consumer and start being a producer. You know, I think that's going to be the title. All right, my friends. Big decisions. You know, it's those big decision days, the next couple of days with this full moon coming up too. You know, Bob Ross, we got to make hard decisions. It's time to make those hard decisions, my friend. Whatever decisions you make, I back you. I love you. I wish you enough, and we'll see you tomorrow.